Hi, everyone. Seth Scrimo here again with the Best of Wooster Podcast. And today we're doing something very special. We are doing a interview at a restaurant at TJ's. We're going to review their wings while we're doing the interview. So today I have the Mayor of Wooster here. Bob, how are you doing today?
Very good, thank you.
Awesome.
To be here.
Great. And then we also have our new food reviewer. His name is Will. He's one of my clients. Will, how you doing today, man?
Doing great.
Awesome. Sweet. All right, so we have these plates of wings beside us, and we're going to go through it and ask these questions to our mayor. So the first wings that we have are the, I believe, honey barbecue. Is that correct?
Yes.
All right. We got some plates in front of us, got some wings. Now, before we started, the mayor said he's going to try to tough it out and not have to use the milk. So we're going to hold him to it.
I reserve the right to change my mind.
That's right. All right, so first bite, how are those?
Very good. These are my go-to wings when I'm here.
Did you hear that? The mayor's favorite. All right, Will, what do you think of those wings?
Pretty good.
Awesome.
Very sweet.
I'm gonna take a bite here in a little bit, but first question for the mayor. So besides TJ's, what's one Worcester restaurant or spot you think every resident needs to try at least once?
I would go with the Wooster Memorial Park. It's an age thing. People of my generation will call it Spangler Park because that's what it was originally known as. Even though it's not in the city, it's owned by the city, maintained by the city, and it's kind of for those who are not familiar with it, it's a hidden gem, but it's not far away at all. And, I would recommend anybody who's not had a chance to get out there, they do so. They've made a lot of improvements in recent years to kind of open up accessible areas for people of all levels of mobility, and this time of year is really probably my favorite time to be out there. Between the bugs are gone, it's not likely to be as hot as it otherwise might be, and the trees are just starting to turn.
Oh yeah, definitely. You know, myself and Will, I think we ran a race out there last March, the Super Bowl, and it was a little wet and muddy, but it was fun. I think more people should know about it. What's your favorite event or tradition in Worcester that really shows off the spirit of the community?
So I've got a top two, and I would say Wooster Fest is certainly one of those, and the other one would be Winter Wonderland. And probably because now I've got grandkids, I'm probably going to swing to put Winter Wonderland at the top, but it's a close competition. But I really enjoy the turnout we get and the impact it makes on young kids.
Oh yeah, for sure. Definitely love Winter Wonderland. What's funny is actually that day, my wife and I and our kids, we go around and rate all the fries of Worcester. We call it Black Fries Day. So maybe you could come be another guest for that. But not sure if you knew this or not, but you're sitting next to two athletes from Wooster Fest. Will and myself, we both competed in the Big Mac eating competition. I'm actually the one that won it. I had 5 cups in 5 minutes.
That's quite an honor. That's going to lead the obituary, right?
It is, yes. That's what I'm saying. My son, he looks at that trophy and he asked if he could do it. I was like, well, buddy, you're probably going to puke. So no. All right, so next question here. What's the biggest challenge Worcester faces right now, and how is the city working to tackle it?
Well, I'd say housing, and in fairness to the community, I'd say probably 99% of the mayors across the country you ask that question to are going to have the same answer. And because everybody's fighting this problem, and the reason for that is that most of the things that have led to the shortage are things that were national experiences. We had the financial crisis of 2010, went through COVID, and now we're going through labor shortages and material inflation and spiking material prices. So all that's made it really tough sledding in the housing market for the last 20 plus years. And at the same time, we've got pre-World War II housing stock that's kind of going out of cycle. Well, two things, I guess. We've got older housing stock that's deteriorating and going kind of offline, and we're also seeing family sizes shrink. So even though your population may look like it's staying relatively flat, if you're going from a model where the average home in the city has 3 people in it to a model where the average home's got 2 people in it, you need 50% more homes right there. And that's a little bit, that's kind of an oversimplification, but that's what we're seeing, and I think what a lot of places are seeing. So that answers the question, or the part about what's the problem, what are we doing about it? Really a 2-pronged approach. The first is trying to get additional new housing, and we'll work around the perimeters. Everybody loves the rural nature of Wayne County and the farm community and the influence it has on our community. We certainly want to maintain that. But our feeling is that if we can grow housing around the perimeters of the cities, and doesn't matter whether it's Rittman, Orville, Wooster, or even the villages, if you do that, they can tie into sewer and water. And because of that, you can have a smaller lot size. I think figure six houses an acre is what you can do if you're doing development within the city. Whereas if someone's doing development outside of a city without having to go to private water well and septic system, you're looking at a couple acres per house. So again, that's why we're pushing the growth in housing around the cities as a form of farmland preservation, even though it does involve taking some farmland and converting it to residential use. We just kind of the big news that it's been publicized, so a lot of people are already aware of this, but we have an annexation in process now along the west side of Wooster, up north of where Seaman is out Silver Road, that is now, it's gone through the city for approval once. It's now in front of the county commissioners for their approval. They had a hearing on it Wednesday, and if their next meeting they'll vote on it, and if it passes it'll come back to the city to accept it in. But it's 240 acres, which, now that's not all, it's not all tillable acreage, which means it's probably not all easily built upon. But if you just use the tillable acreage, we figure we can get between 800 and 900 home sites on that, which could take care of our housing expansion needs for a decade. So that's one piece of the answer. The second piece is looking at established housing neighborhoods or established residential neighborhoods, and seeing what we can do to reinvigorate those, spur investment in those. What we're trying to do to tackle that is to make amendments to our zoning code to give landowners more flexibility in the type of housing that they can build. The traditional single-family, 2-story, idyllic Leave It to Beaver house is not necessarily a fit in older urban neighborhoods, not necessarily what people are looking to buy, and the lot sizes are smaller. So we're trying to give homeowners or lot owners more options in terms of what type of housing they build, with the idea that we'll keep it more affordable, and we'll try to cover a broader array of tastes or desires in the home buying community.
Yeah, see, I know I got my house in 17, right after my wife and I got married, and we live over kind of by Hartshurst area a little bit, and we've seen such a huge growth in housing on that side of Wooster. So it's good to know that there's already plans in place to make sure that people can live here, right? Let's get our next wings here at TJ's, where the wings are saucy.
This is the Thai chili.
Thai chili.
So this is new for me.
New one. All right, new one for the mayor. So while you're taking your bite, I'm asked the next question here. After stepping into this role, what's been the most surprising or eye-opening thing about being the mayor of Wooster?
I got to comment on the wings first. So I get
Okay. Yeah. Give us some time to think. So I got the wings.
This is new. It's a little spicier. It got a little kick to it.
Yeah.
I get the Thai flavoring. I'm not sure what exactly that is, but it's not just heat. It's more of a.
It's kind of sweet too.
Yeah, and it's got. I think there's some honey in that.
Yeah.
Okay.
I think they might have just. This might be a modified. I don't want to give away any secrets, but this might be a modified honey hickory.
Oh, okay.
Or maybe a variation of the honey
I'm
hickory.
gonna try this bad boy. Oh yeah. So, folks, if you've ever had like Chinese food, it has like that kind of kick to it, but also it brings you back with a little spice, but you definitely you taste the honey. So we'll have to ask the cook afterwards. We won't give away all the secrets by any means. What is actually in this?
It's got dumb, or now I'm just old and dumb. When we were in college. That was, again, this is pre-wings thing. They literally did not have, wings were not a common thing. And the friends of mine that came from Western New York, we talked about it all the time. But really, and we're talking late 70s, that was not something you would find at TJ's or a place like that. And sports bars didn't exist really. It was just bars.
Oh.
But when we, Friday night or something, we go out, and we would get those little jars of jalapenos, and just eat those raw.
Oh man.
And you would see it was probably something that gave you a little buzz like this.
Oh yeah.
So that was all well and fine. I had soft contacts,
Ooh.
and again, not being young and dumb. One morning, I go to bed, I take contacts out, put them in a little case. Next morning, I pop it in my eye.
Ooh. Really thinking, huh?
Here it's got jalapeno juice.
Ooh. Man.
And it burns so bad, my eye clenches shut, so I can't even get it out of my eye. It was just, I had to go hop in the shower and try to rinse it out. Oh. And here's the young and dumb part reinforced. I did it more than once.
Okay.
And like the first one, it was like a huge shock to me, but I probably did it 3 months later or something. And oh God, here I go again.
Mm-hmm.
Cool. It's got a little sweet and sour taste to it.
No.
Any type of bot can go through the websites and pull out that, so you get every blind solicitation in the world, and trying to sort out the ones that are, most of them are legit, they're not scams, but they're basically the equivalent of cold calls. And it took a while to sort out those because when you're mayor, you got no background on which are legitimate ones I need to be paying attention to. And there's only had a staff that helped with that, but to some extent, just a matter of experience. So, that volume of email activity was a little overwhelming to start with, but it's gotten much more manageable. Not because it's any less, but just because I'm more familiar with what it looks like. And the ones that are, absolutely have to respond to, ones that could be, just archived, forwarded to someone, and just how to kind of triage the amount of emails you get.
Oh yeah, for sure. Me being a business owner, I get constant emails, texts, phone calls, LinkedIn messages as well. That's a new one. I had one today that asked for my contact information, and I thought it was a reliable person from here in Worcester, and found out that they got hacked. So I emailed them. Well, I called first because I didn't want the news getting out too quickly. But yeah, I think she got it taken care of, which is good. So
I had a fun one this week. I should have brought it with me because it's kind of a big deal. I got one that announced that I was being considered for an ambassadorship for the United Nations.
Whoa.
And yeah, I assume it's legit.
I mean, hey, I'm just a Big Mac champ. Here you are.
They wanted my bank information.
Perfect. I mean, yeah.
Why not?
Yeah. There you go.
They wanted to verify something, and I haven't gotten back to them yet, but it came out of nowhere.
Left field. If these people, if they could just focus on something good, imagine what they could do.
Right.
Cool. So next question here.
Yeah, I'm gonna have another one of those.
You have another one? Yeah.
I grabbed a small one.
Small one? Okay.
Just I think
Yeah, take your time.
But I really didn't get much a real chance to appreciate that.
All right. Yeah.
Go ahead.
Here at TJ's, the wings are saucy. Next question. You said that communication is a hot topic. What's one new way the city is trying to better connect with its residents? Through eating wings with people.
And I took a big bite. This one's really easy to answer, even though it's a complex issue. And you know what? And this is no surprise to anybody. The traditional ways that people communicate are changing or disappearing. And your audience, your target audience, if you're in the city, is you don't have a demographic you're trying to reach. You're trying to reach everybody. And for better or for worse, that audience gets their information in a variety of ways. It's not a way. You can't use a way to get that information off. Some people don't read emails. Some people don't open mail. Some people don't even take, more and more, and I see this I've got experience with the legal end. Some people don't have mailboxes anymore. So not only will they not open mail, the post office won't have a place to deliver it to. So, because we're finding we are having these difficulties, and nothing anybody else hasn't been experiencing this in the same type of businesses or enterprises. We created a new position, a marketing and communications position. We've just hired someone to.
Yeah, I think Landry, right? Yeah.
I said, do you know Landry?
I do.
So we're looking forward to her. I think she starts first week in November, and very much looking forward to what she's got to do. And we've kind of every day it seems like we come up with another project that she can work on that we want to get out there.
Cool. No, that's good. Yeah, I think some people they learn by hearing, some learn by seeing, some learn by actually doing. And I think it's the same thing with information. Like if it needs to be passed down, the beauty of where we are now versus like the early 1900s is most people have this rectangular thing in their hands. So email blasts, social media. Although I do like handwritten notes in the mail, I'd rather not get stuff in the mail. So next question here. For people who want to make Wooster better, what's the easiest way to get involved today?
Well, for people who want to make Wooster better, I'd say any community better. One thing that people are passing on at almost at a really disturbing rate is exercising the right to vote. Voter turnout's been terrible, getting worse, it seems like, on most issues. And I would also say that, and this is the old guy yelling at people to get off my yard, but I think people are paying way too much attention to what candidates may be saying on social media and the sound bites and who can stir up emotion and outrage, as opposed to people that they want to make solid decisions for them. So, going back to the question is, what can they do to make their community a better place? Engage in the political process and make good political decisions, and not the ones that just seem like fun. Like, don't vote like an 8-year-old. that goes for the brightest, shiniest object, captures your attention, but make decisions that you'd make as a mature adult based on what's best for the community.
Yeah, I think it's important to become informed, be an informed voter. One of the things I hate is when people complain and you ask them if they vote and they say no. It's like, well, you really have no right to complain if you're not going to go out and try to make a change.
So that'll segue then to the second part of that answer. So I think you were asking how do you get involved in a more personal level. And, one issue that we have with people, and this is across the political spectrum, is that they live and operate in their own little bubble. And social media, that's how social media operates. That's how it's designed to operate. It's keeping your bubble and tell you what you want to hear. And people need to be aware of that. And I'm not trying to tell you to stay away from social media or stay off of it. That's a lost cause. But you need to expose yourself to broader populations. I know plenty of Republicans that will tell you they don't know a Democrat or have a friend that's a Democrat. And I know Democrats that will say the same thing. And that's just wrong. To those people, I would challenge you, there's no excuse for that. You can have different political views, but you share something. Whether it's through a church group or some type of service agency or whatever, you got to be able to know how to talk to and have a civil discussion with people that don't share all your political beliefs.
Yeah, I think it's one of the things that makes America great, is we have a community of people that have different viewpoints. We're a big melting pot, right? And we have to learn to all get along, or otherwise life's going to be hard. So speaking of hard, let's get our next wings out here.
Well done.
So now, folks, these wings are getting hotter here.
Now, I'm going to say, I'm not looking to milk, but they got celery over there, don't they?
That's due. Would you like some celery?
I'm getting a celery. I'm going to
All
put
right.
the spot here.
All right. Let's cleanse our palates with this fresh celery from TJ's with their wings. So.
I do not remember which ones these are. All I know is the last ones are the wings of death.
These are hot.
Hot. Yeah, they look hot, folks. They certainly do.
Look a little angry.
Look a little angry, but yeah, I think the wings of death. That's, man. I think we should have had you sign a waiver. All right, so we got 2 questions left. So we're gonna do one question with these wings, and then the last question we'll do with the wings of death. So this question here, what's one project or improvement you'd love to see completed in Wooster over the next 5 years?
That's got a bite to it.
Yeah?
Yeah.
I don't have an extreme immunity to hot things, but I don't think, to me, that's not overly hot.
No.
It's got
Nope.
a nice little kick to it, but it's very doable.
Like, to me, this feels like a buffalo sauce, right?
And good, still good meaty wing, good sauce. Now I'm getting a little warm glow in the chest. And
All right. Getting warmed up for the wings of death, folks.
so to go to your question, and I'm going to cheat. I'm going to give you 2 things. First of all, I would really like to see that revisions to the zoning code in the housing area go into effect. I would think that can be a game changer. And again, it's not going to result in hundreds of new houses, but it could result in a few dozen new houses in older neighborhoods that haven't seen any new houses for decades. And we hope that a couple new houses here and there will spur more new investment in some of those neighborhoods that have really seen some decline. So that's one. The second one, and this is going to push the limits on the 5 years, is that our comprehensive plan calls for improvements to the Cleveland Road corridor from like Winter Street at the hospital up through Portage, and involves a roundabout at Portage in Cleveland.
Uh-oh, he said there are word, folks.
Yeah,
Roundabout.
A roundabout at Winter in Cleveland, and then an elongated roundabout tying together Erig, Elm, not Erig, I'm sorry, that's not right there. Elm, Bell, Cleveland, and what am I missing now? I guess that's it. But we're thinking that in the process of doing that, we can maybe revitalize some of the commercial areas throughout there. By virtue of my position, I'm automatically chair of the hospital board of governors, and the hospital is, they're right in the middle of that emergency room expansion, which is a couple months from opening, and they've got big plans. When I say big plans, not like there's anything definitive, but they've acquired the property there north of the hospital, and they'd like to see that developed.
Expand it.
And we think improving that roadway is going to improve access to the hospital and also clean up the curb appeal for the hospital as well. That's I could go back and modify one of my prior answers. We talk about one of the big surprises is that even though I've grown up in Wooster and I've had plenty of occasions to be in the Wooster Community Hospital for myself or for family members or for friends, the exposure I've had there and the stuff I've learned there has just been 100-fold increase from what I knew before. And I've really come to appreciate the hospital as not just a benefit for the citizens for making quality of life better, but it's really an economic driver for the area, given the amount of employees they have there, the amount of people it brings in the community for employment. And we're talking about high-paying jobs, professionals that it brings here that we wouldn't have in the community but for that community hospital.
Oh yeah, both my kids were born at Wooster Community Hospital. I've had procedures done at Wooster Community Hospital. I was just at the Wooster Community Hospital interviewing Wits End earlier this year. I think they have a lot of great things going for them, and we're lucky to have that in our backyard with the great talents that they have there. So, speaking of great, we're gonna bring out the last wings here. So I'm gonna put out the question first before we bring these wings of death, just in case something happens, folks. If someone listening is considering running for local office someday, what's your best advice for stepping into a leadership role here in Wooster? Oh, getting the milk out, folks, just in case. Just in case. Precautionary.
Never be too safe.
That's right. The mayor said no. Hold him to his word.
So, I would recommend anybody, if you're going into a political position, either it's on some type of board, whether it's a school board or city council, you got to learn how to work with others. Mm-hmm. And that's a skill I think that is not emphasized enough, where people are losing that a little bit. I think part of it is their devices. Not behaving nicely necessarily all the time. When you're not face to face with people, you can a lot of bad behavior is tolerated that wouldn't be tolerated in a social setting or a face to face setting. And you don't have the luxury of operating the government that way. So I guess I'm making a long story out of this, but get involved in some organization involved working in a committee setting or something where you've got to work face to face with people to reach a common goal. I'm afraid, again, this harks back to my earlier comment, is now I think we have too many people that are getting involved that just like to be flamethrowers, rock throwers that criticize but really have no solutions.
Oh, yeah.
And no real ability to carry out solutions. And there usually there's a reason things are problems. They're hard issues, and there's no silver bullets to take care of them, and they take a lot of work and a lot of joint effort to make happen. And if you can't work in that type of setting, you probably should think about something else other than government. So.
Oh yeah, I think it's important to learn to play well in the sandbox, and also that you need to realize that if you do have a glass house, you shouldn't throw stones because they can come back to bite you.
The thing I'd say on that front is that if you're looking in the government, they say it's a public servant role, and this public servant is part of it, but the servant is maybe more important. As you are a servant doesn't mean you've been I've heard someone say, I'm a public servant, I'm not your servant, when somebody wants to push a little too hard, but you understand your duty is to serve the public. And if you don't go in with that attitude, I think you're looking for problems.
Oh yeah, no, that makes sense. When I went to Kent State University, one of the classes I took was philosophy, and the course was Star Trek, and I had to write a paper on the needs of the many outweigh the needs of the one. And I feel like there's a lot of people that want to say me, but not ever say we. So first bite of Wings of Death, folks.
This does have another level.
Oh yeah.
I mean, this.
I had a little taste of it earlier, and my mouth is still on fire from it.
Oh wow.
Now right off the back, you can see like there's definitely seeds with it. So some kind of chili.
Oh yeah.
But definitely, so of all the wings we've had, all of them have had a decent amount of meat to them. That's one thing. When I get wings, that's what I look for.
You just tell from this that there's a lot more sauce on these.
Oh yeah, looking at the bowl they came in, definitely you could see that it's sauced up. I'm glad we got the milk here.
I'm glad this is the last one, because this is about the end of my comfort level.
Glad this was not the first one. It kind of probably there's no way you could enjoy just like you have to eat just these wings. You can't go back. All right. Well,
unfortunately, I ran out of water.
You ran out of water, huh? No, not good. I'm definitely gonna use a celery stick here.
Yeah.
Well, folks, those are all the questions I have for our mayor here. Bob, thank you so much for being on the show.
Thanks for asking me.
Will, thank you so much for testing out these wings. Glad that you enjoyed them. Folks, if you need any additional contact information, you're welcome to reach out to myself, Seth Screamo, at 330-221-1547. Thanks. Have a great day. Bye.